Since Kenyans decided to come and attack me from TikTok to Instagram, here's a list of why South Africa is a million times better than Kenya.
Wow, South Africa is a million times better than Kenya. Wow. Let's hear the argument of this weak South African man.
Better than Kenya. Here's a list of top 10 African universities, the best universities in Africa. And from number 1 to number 6, it's only my country, South Africa. Where's Kenya? It's not even in the top 10. It's just the only thing that you guys only have pride on in Kenya when it comes to defending yourselves is sports. Well, let's talk about sports. Sure, Kenya has the most Olympic medals in Africa. They have 86 and South Africa has 76. But here's the thing about us. We don't need to talk about the Olympics for sports bragging rights. When it comes to rugby, South Africa is the most successful rugby nation in history. We're the only country in the world that has won the most rugby World Cups ever. South Africa's women national football team are AFCON women's champions. And when it comes to Grammys, South Africa has won the most Grammys in the whole of Africa. To make matters even worse, we're UFC champions. Oh, and also, Amapiano is the biggest music genre in the world right now. I've never even heard music from Kenya, ever. Oh, and as Kenyans, next time you guys decide to actually come for me, make sure that you guys don't have one leg to stand on. Because let me tell you something, nobody really cares about the athletics. You know what I mean?
Now let me tell you why Kenya is 10 million times better than South Africa. Number 1, racism. In South Africa, there's a place where a black person cannot live and a black person cannot work. It's called Orania.
Hey guys, let's talk about this beautiful piece of land that you see on the screen there, on the current screen. This is Orania. Orania is a little town in the Orange River, Northern Cape vibes in South Africa. That is a white-only town. No blacks allowed. You can't own rent there, you can't reside there, you can't do business there. Oranians have their own currency. Yes, they have their own money. But that's not all. They have their own flag. This little flag with a white boy, strange things, but this is the flag that they use to represent Orania.
That's a white boy folding his shirt, getting ready to beat a weak South African man. In Kenya, that's impossible. Why? Kenyan men can't let that shit exist here. Why? Because they're strong, unlike South African men. Another reason why Kenya is 10 million times better than South Africa: colonialism. You see, South Africa is a free country. Put the word free in quotes, because nearly all the good stuff belong to the white people, and all the bad stuff, the slums, the prison, the poverty, belong to the black people.
This strip in Cape Town, South Africa, divides the beachside community of Strand from the township of Nomzamo. They're only a few meters apart, but the people on each side live very different lives. Strand has backyards and driveways. Nomzamo is much more dense, and the people here have fewer basic services. Less piped water, less internet access, and Nomzamo is majority black, while the area across the line is majority white.
This is really sad, but Kenya is 10 million times better than South Africa. All the slums in Kenya, all the poverty in Kenya belongs to the black people. And all the good stuff, the malls, the good schools, the big companies belong to Kenyans. They belong to the black people of Kenya. Another reason why Kenya is 10 million times better than South Africa: electricity.
Now, it's so bad in South Africa that the power is off between 6 and 13 hours a day.
Kenya doesn't have a perfect electricity situation, but the situation in Kenya is 10 million times better than South Africa. This is a Ugandan man who lives in Kenya, and he was shocked because Kenya imports about 2% of its power from Uganda, and Ugandans have been boasting about that stuff. But
I've been in Nairobi now for 3 weeks. The only time this power was off is when tokens were done.
Unlike South Africa and Uganda, Kenya's electricity situation is a million times better. Most people don't even have power banks. I can't remember the last time I used my power bank. Mind you, I don't live in Nairobi, the capital city. Another reason why Kenya is 10 million times better than South Africa, the drugs. There's a drug in South Africa that only a mad person can invent. It's called nyaope.
A drug that's torn communities apart, made from a volatile cocktail of red poison, heroin, and ARVs.
Okay, in Kenya we have drugs, but it's mostly weed and alcohol, like normal people. What the fuck is that shit? ARVs and drug poison? You people are mad. That's another reason why Kenya is 10 million times better than South Africa. I won't mention the HIV situation in South Africa, but it's not a secret. Everybody knows that South Africa has the most HIV in the whole fucking world. What the fuck is that shit? South Africa is no way a million times better than Kenya. Shut the fuck up. In fact, South Africa is a joke.
South Africa is a joke. It's what I said many years ago. It's what I've always said. There's a reason I left my country of birth. There's a reason why I will never go back.
Oh, and we made him apologize, by the way, proving my point. South African men are weak as...
Yo, what's going on, guys? So I just want to take this moment and speak to the people of Kenya. So what's up, guys, in Kenya? I hope you guys are good. And I just want to take this moment and say I actually do apologize, you know what I mean, for anyone that was ever offended by anything that I said, you know what I mean, from the FCON to the university things and all of those things. Like, I really do apologize. You know what I mean? It's been quite an interesting week. You know what I mean? Interesting week or so, 2 weeks ish, in a way. I really do apologize if I ever offended anyone. You know what I mean? It was not really my intention to. You know what I mean? And I was just really having fun. You know, so it's the same way as people are just making videos about me, making memes, you know. It was pretty funny. Like the Princess Sophia thing, my god, the Princess of Sophia thing has gotten really hectic. Like now, and today in the morning when I went to work in my building, when I was at the elevator, coming out of the elevator, one of the people that live here was like, hey, aren't you that guy that they call Princess Sophia? You know what I mean? But even at work, you know who you are. You called me Princess Sophia. But anyway, man, I just want to take this moment and actually do apologize. If I ever offended anyone, it was not really my intention to. And there's some people that really did get really offended. I've seen by some of the DMs that you guys send me. For anyone that was ever felt as if like I disrespected you or disrespected your country, it was never my intention to do so, and I sincerely do apologize. You know what I mean?